Hello and welcome to another fun-filled nonsense retrospective. I'm your host as always, Rick, and joining me equally as always is Devon.
Tip tip cheerio, we're from Britain, don't you know?
Yes, we're being very British today. We're doing a British tier list of some sort you'll find out in the future. But before we get too far into that, rather than talk about our weeks, we're going to start with our good old time-honored tradition of the nonsense asinine hypotheticals. And what do you have for me today?
Well, Rick, I'm going to give away the game. Not that it's giving away the game, because they can read the title. But
Yes.
we're talking about food today, so I came up with a really dumb question involving food. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
I was thinking of, I think it was Lady Gaga, or Lady Gaga.
Oh my god, it's Lady Gaga!
Yeah. One of the best fucking clips from Harley Quinn. Anyway,
Yeah.
I believe she at one point wore a dress made entirely of meat, and there was a big hullabaloo about it. So my question's easy. You have to wear an outfit made entirely of one type of food. What is that food?
Oh boy. Trying to think, what would be the least disgusting and sweaty thing
I hate
that I
to-
could also pee?
Hate to break it to you,
it's all
Rick.
going to be disgusting.
It's going to be
They're all
fun.
going to be disgusting, sweaty. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be edible when you're finished. It's only to be used as clothes.
Jelly.
Jelly.
Yes. You can make exceptionally thick jelly, and it's basically just going to be a rubber suit at that point.
I've never seen jelly that isn't at least partially see-through.
You could just add some milk to it, and it becomes blancmange. But yeah, you can make. They make the see-through jelly because it's aesthetically pleasing. They think that because you can put like one little bit of food dye in, it makes the whole thing like that color rather than having to put way more in when it's going to be opaque. So yeah, I go with some form of gelatin, and the way that I would get it off is by not caring and just having a fucking wash for a long time, and it just all comes off and goes down the sink and not sink, down the drain. Then it's the sewage treatment plant's problem now.
I mean, I just want to say, I never said anything about having to think about how to get it off. It's literally just...
Oh, yeah. That's immediately where my brain goes, though, because we are both non-zero hair, and yeah, the number of times I've gotten something stuck to me and it's like non-zero painful to get it off because it's sticky and it's made for bald women. Yeah, it was the first thing that my brain went to. How about you? So what would you pick?
I'm sorry, made for bald women.
Yeah. You know how, okay, women are not hairless, but they're so close to hairless that they might as well be.
Not the ones I like.
Okay, fair enough. I forgot you like Wookiees.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but you know. They're not naturally like that, right? You know they shave to get to that level of hairlessness.
Well, to be honest, like a lot of them are just like really thin and wispy with the hairs, and yeah.
But yeah, my answer, this question is a disgusting question, and I don't like thinking it for long, so I went for orange peel, and we'll leave it at that.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, that's basically leather. I'll accept that. My one for you. We tend not to try and timestamp these too badly, but this popped up in my feed. The Saber Interactive is a video game studio that was making the Knights of the Old Republic remake. They're poised to release Space Marine 2 and a bunch of other things. They've basically just bought themselves out of Embracer Group, so they're now independent again. What other studio would you like to see this happen to?
The reality is, Rick, I don't really know that much about video game companies. I just play the games.
Sure.
But any BioWare. There you go. That's
exactly.
I have to think of something off the top of my head, and I don't have a long old list of. In my mind, the problem is, unless it's a really well-known case of a company being bought by usually EA or Ubisoft, let's be honest, it's just not going to register on my radar. When I see a game company's logo, I assume that game company is their own independent thing. And I know that's usually incredibly incorrect, but it's like I just don't have time to go digging around to see what's what.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this question was basically there to say BioWare twice, pretty much. If you'd have asked me maybe 10 years ago, I'd have said Bungie, maybe, but they've proven that they can't be trusted with themselves. So yeah, for me, it's also BioWare. I would like to see them uphold their own values rather than being forced to do the EA thing.
I mean, BioWare still exists. It's just called Obsidian now.
Yeah.
It's a joke I like to make because I saw it once, but it's so true. All the writers and a lot of the actual people doing the nitty-gritty work just fucked off to Obsidian.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's one of those like classic BioWare. Yeah, is now Obsidian. Current BioWare is the Activision thing of people want to work at your company because they want to make games and they want to contribute to something that they love, and then that's a way for the company to milk that and pay them below market rate. And yeah. So it's a shitty time. But yeah. Let's get into what we're doing today. We're doing a British snack tier list. Well, it's British food tier list. Sorry, because there are things on here that, unless you are like an actual human vacuum, would not be classed as a snack.
Oh, absolutely. We've piggybacked off of Sir Sushi's list. Basically, we saw that and went, we'll do that one because we couldn't be asked to make one ourselves, and we're not making a snack review of us eating British food because the answer will always be, yeah, this is good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, we've renamed the tiers, and that's about it. We're not changing anything else. So we've got Food of the Gods tier, which is what we had on the Aussie tier list. Bloody Lovely, which is the only tier that's not been renamed. Pretty decent, solid meh, bit shit in it. I've got this one down as bin tier. What have you said? We're going to
forget it.
Forget it.
Oh, you didn't have to change yours. It's the same thing, just different words.
Well, I'm changing it so I'm not saying it bin all the time. So, and the last two are not for me Respect and not for me Repulsive.
Yeah, for me, I've changed these slightly as well. It's not for me Respect It and not for me Fuck That.
Yep. Yeah, I think we had Nope tier in the past, but yeah, that's pretty much that.
Actually, you did one better than that, because you know I like Final Fantasy 9, so you put it down as No Can Eat.
Yes, I know can eat. Yep. When Queen can't eat a boss. Okay, we're going to start out with Aero.
Here's the thing, Rick, is they've used the picture of a chocolate Aero. If we're doing chocolate Aero specifically, I'd put that as pretty decent.
Okay, I'm putting Aero, chocolate Aero in particular, as solid meh, but I can be persuaded that it's better than that.
Oh, I don't care what your opinion is on this chocolate, because I think every other Aero is shit. Actually, I tell a lie. They did do a limited edition caramel one once, and that was weirdly fucking delicious.
Yeah. Like, I do like the orange one.
You're a fucking monster.
I have to be in the mood for.
Monster.
I have to be in the mood for the mint one. Lidl do a much better version of this because it's not Nestle chocolate.
Oh, absolutely, that's fair.
Sure, we'll pop in pretty decent. After 8s.
I fucking hate these because I don't like mint. Mint and chocolate and orange and chocolate, I fucking despise.
Okay. I can see at least one other thing that's going to all of you in the
yeah, I'm pretty sure Terry's chocolate orange is on this list, but
Yeah.
That being said, After 8 gets away with it a little bit because it's dark chocolate, so it's got a bit of a different taste to it, but I'm still, for me personally, it's going in forget it.
I'm going to put it in bit shit, because I don't hate them, but I would never buy them. It's one of those things where you get them at Christmas, like someone else gets them as a Christmas present, you have a few, and then you forget about them until next year, or until you go to a restaurant where they spring for mints with the bill.
I do remember there being a joke on some sort of sitcom, I forget which one, where it was the goody two-shoes person being like, I did something really bad today. What? I had an after 8 and it was only 7.
Yeah. That sounds like an Alice joke as well, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong. It might have been. I generally can't remember where I heard it from, but it made me cackle the first time I heard it.
Yeah. I'm putting mine in bit shit. Heinz beans.
Okay. I'm going to put it in not for me, but I respect it. Beans is a traditional British thing. We can't deny it. I don't like beans.
Yeah, sure. I'm putting mine in pretty decent because the next one is beans on toast with whatever accoutrements you like, which in this picture is cheese. I'm putting the beans on toast in Bloody Lovely.
Yeah, I'm also putting this in not for me, but I do respect it. It's a British dish. It needs respect. That being said, there's recently been I forget what subreddit it's on, but there was an American person who tried beans on toast, and when they went back to America, all they're eating for breakfast is beans on toast now because they fucking love it. But the thing is they used to take the piss out of it because they looked at it and they went, that looks disgusting. And you got to admit, it doesn't look appetising.
Yep. Snuffy once asked her parents what they think of beans on toast, and her dad just went, I had that this morning. However, with a slight twist in that they're Mexican in heritage, and it would have been Mexican beans, so frijoles or something.
Hey man, I don't care.
Still.
It's like it's a kindred spirit in my eyes.
Yeah, totally. Black pudding.
Black pudding's weird because I don't know where to put it because I've never tried it, but it sounds disgusting because it's just pig blood.
Yeah, pig blood and fat, and basically everything that makes meat tasty is what black pudding is. I have two answers for this. If it's raw, I hate it, and if it's cooked, I love it.
Well, assume it's the way you like it, Rick. Don't fucking don't assume a negative. I'm gonna put not for me. Fuck that, because it sounds so unappetizing.
Sure. I'm putting it in pretty decent. I put it along the same tier as beans. If there is a full English and it has black pudding, then I class that as yes, that is a full English.
Sure.
As in a full English breakfast to those listening that don't know the abbreviation. Bounty bar.
Yeah, not for me. Fuck that. I don't know if you know this about me, Rick, but I fucking hate coconut shavings.
I used to, or rather, okay, so regular coconut shavings I really hate, but the bounty ones are just so bound together with gloop that they're basically not shavings anymore. I'm putting mine in solid meh because, again, it's normally one that I wouldn't buy.
I was gonna say, if you asked someone who was out to buy you a chocolate bar and they bought you a bounty, you'd be disappointed.
Yeah, a little bit. Although a fair few times I've been sent out to buy something, anything, and one of the requests was a bounty as well. So it's not the stupidest thing to find, but yeah, it's not most people's first choice. So yeah, solid meh from me. It's not even in my top 3 of mini heroes. Bourbon.
Food of the fucking gods.
Yeah. It's possibly the cheapest one on the list that's ever going to make it into this tier.
You could get a packet of these for like 60p.
Yeah, and that's with inflation. When I grew up, it was like 20p.
Oh, goodness, man. Like, if you go into a supermarket and you're like, what biscuit shall I get for the house? You got the custard creams, which a pretty solid biscuit on its own right, but right next to it, you got the bourbon, and it's like, what the fuck are you going to pick?
Yeah. I mean, at that price, you pick both, really, don't you? And then people have got a choice, and you fight them for the last bourbon before you dip into the vanilla custards.
Lidl used to do this really weird thing. It was a multi-pack of custard creams, but they weren't custard creams. You had lime creams, lemon creams, and orange creams. And they were fucking disgusting, but boy, was it a novelty.
Yeah, I can understand that, yeah. But yeah, this is our first addition to Food of the Gods. Buttons.
It's a button yogurt.
It's a button yogurt?
Yeah. Oh,
it is and all.
Sorry, I work in a supermarket, and this is on my section, so I was able to recognise it straight away. This is solid meh. It's fine. It's chocolate yogurt with some chocolate. It's like a Muller rice where you got buttons on the side, then you pour them into the yogurt and mix it in. It's fine. I wouldn't go out my way to have it, but there's nothing wrong with it.
I'm going pretty decent because now that you've clarified that it's the yogurt, I think it's possibly the nicest of yogurt. I am a sucker for the classic Cadbury's taste, and it seems like in yogurt they've not fucked it up yet.
I'll take your word for that one.
But yeah, so I'm putting mine in pretty decent. Cheese and biscuits.
Yeah, the annoying thing here is they've used brie as an example. I usually have cheddar on my crackers.
Well, they've also shown that you can have a mixture. So there's like there's going to be like a brie, a camembert, and a nondescript yellow, which may be cheddar, maybe something else. It's not smoked cheese, it's not Leicester. But I'm putting this in Food of the Gods. Like the ones that they're showing, yes, I would choose them, but I'd also choose some other ones as well.
Well, I'm putting it in solid meh because when I have cheese and crackers, it really is a vanilla, boring affair. It's usually something light to have for lunch rather than an actual thing I choose to eat for funsies.
Yeah, for me, cheese and crackers is what you make when there is cheese in the fridge and you have crackers and you can't be bothered making a meal. So you make a snack.
Oh, again, this doesn't count as a snack for me. This looks like a proper meal.
Yeah, KP footballs.
I've never actually had these, but I've had cheese balls before. There's a bit shit in it.
Yeah, they're a bit shit. The ones that I remember were very plasticky flavored tasting. Mm-hmm. Maybe not as bad as Forget It, but yeah, not good. So yeah, these go into bit shit in it. What's this one? Is this like
these are
Jacob's Animal
cheeselets?
Crackers?
Have you never had cheeselets before?
No, I've had mini cheddars.
Oh, okay, so they're like it's difficult to explain because they really are a unique thing. They're very cheesy biscuit / crisps, but they're very thin. My parrot loves them, but better than that, I love them, which means I have to fight the parrot for them. No, I joke. It means if I buy cheeselets for myself, I have to hide them in my room because otherwise my mum will just take them and give them to the parrot. For me, this is Food of the Gods. They're better than mini cheddars by a fucking country mile.
I can understand that. So
made by the same company, baked, not fried.
Yeah. Because I've I've never had them. I'm going to have to put them in not for me, but with respect. They're now going to be on my list of things to try if I ever see them.
Yeah, so the picture they've used for them is the big old tub of them. You only get those at Christmas time. Usually they come in a 135 gram bag.
Yeah. Cherry Bakewells.
Is that what these are? It's hard to tell because they look more like cakes than Bakewells. But yeah, if they're cherry Bakewells, bloody lovely.
Yeah, bloody lovely. I think that's exactly the right place for them. I think this is one of the nicest weekend at grandma little pie things that you can get because, you've got everything. You've got some icing, which is great for when you're 2. You've got a cherry, which is great for when you're 2.5. And you've got the pastry to make it not quite as sweet, which is great for when you're more than 3.
Yeah, these are specifically Bakewell tarts because if you get a proper cherry Bakewell, they don't put a little cherry on top. It's just a big fuck off pie.
Yeah. Bakewell tarts, yeah. Chewits.
Fuck me, I've not thought of these for years.
Yeah.
These are very much a kid food, let's be real.
Yes, absolutely. All they are chewy and sweet and a little bit flavorful.
Yeah.
However, when you're a kid, they're crack. I remember fizzy Chewits.
I remember they made me addicted to vanilla for a bit because they had a limited edition vanilla flavoured Chewit and they were the shit.
Oh man, I remember those. Yeah, so good. As an adult, I'd put it in solid meh.
I'm going to put it in pretty decent, but my childhood fondness of them is doing a lot of the heavy lifting there.
Sure, yeah. Similar. It's if I were to eat one today, it'd probably end up as bit shit in it. I'm splitting the difference between decent and shit with meh.
Totally fair.
Chip butty.
This is such a weird food because I've never made it on purpose. Do you know what I mean? It's always been like, I've got chips, but fuck all else. What should I have with the chips? I know, I'll butter up some bread.
Yeah, chip butty is it's either an end of the meal cleanup thing, which is a very good one of those, or it's something you order when there's a chip shop on the way home.
Oh god, yeah, chip shop ones are the best.
Yeah, and you're starving on the way home, and you've got your tea coming up, and you don't want to spoil your tea with a fish butty, so you go, chip butty. So yeah.
It feels a bit sacrilegious, but I'm gonna have to put it in bloody lovely. I don't think it's quite food for the gods, but it's up there.
I think it's minimum bloody lovely. Yeah, I'm putting it in gods.
No, that's absolutely fine. Just bear in mind, the British have this amazing ability to make anything a butty.
Yep.
I remember when I was in college, my go-to food at the end of the day, because I was both poor and wanted a quick meal, was pot noodle butties. And yeah, it was as disgusting as it sounds, but I made it work.
Sloppy boy.
Ugh.
Yeah, the Terry's chocolate orange. I know where you're putting that.
Not for me. Fuck that.
I'm putting it in pretty decent. I like orange chocolate, and Terry's does the nicest orange chocolate.
Yeah, that's fair. The only thing I'll give credit to, you know what? I'm going to put it in not for me. Respect it because it makes a very good gift at Christmas.
Yeah. And it's always funny when you get someone who needs to slam it to smack it apart, and they don't have a surface that they don't want to damage, so they just use their head.
I've never seen that happen. You've got some retarded relatives. Are we allowed to say that?
Cream egg. Yeah, you are. It's fine. The Cadbury's cream egg.
Yeah, it's going to be the same as the orange. It's not for me, but I respect it.
I'm putting it in bloody lovely because of the Cadbury's downgrade. The caveat is that the white ones, I think, haven't suffered the downgrade. So the white ones would be in Food of the Gods, but regular cream eggs are in bloody lovely still.
The problem with the cream eggs, I find, is they are far too fucking sweet. I take one bite and I go, yeah. Also, fucking Domino's or something is doing something at the moment for Easter. Cadbury cream egg cookies.
Okay.
It's a cookie and the filling is the filling of a cream egg, and I'm like, what the fuck? That looks vile, but I kind of want to try one.
Yeah. Well, it's just a frosted cookie, but the frosting is inside rather than on top.
Yeah, but it's still got chocolate chips.
Sure. I was dreading you saying they're making the chocolate pizza with the cream egg toppings because they have done chocolate pizza in the past. It's a sweet pizza for pudding, but
okay.
But yeah, crumpets. These are my childhood. I'm going putting them in Food of the Gods. My grandma would buy them all the time, and whenever it was grandma's house for the day, because I don't know, it was summer or something, breakfast would be crumpets with stuff.
All right, I'm going to put this in not for me, but I respect it for the dumbest. Yeah. Here's the thing. Do you know why I don't like crumpets?
Trypophobia?
The first The first time I had a crumpet, I didn't know how crumpets worked. I toasted them up and then I put butter on them, and I was like, "Where's the butter gone?" So I put more butter on. Where's the butter going? And I put more butter on. And then I lifted up the crumpet to take a bite, and it was disgusting. Obviously, I fucked up. It's a me problem. I've never tried to remedy this mistake. However, I have been scarred for life.
Yep. Yeah, the the standard operating procedure for me was, by the time I got them, because they'd been made in the kitchen, would be things would already have melted through it unless it was jam. So part of standard operating procedure was basically leave a crumpet crust to mop up the shit from the plate. The Crunchy. I think the Crunchy is possibly the best of the Cadbury's right now, so I'm putting that in Food of the God.
Absolutely valid. Valid. It goes into solid meh for me.
Okie dokie. I've always been a fan of Crunchies, and yeah, with Cadbury's going downhill, it's been affected the least. Cadbury's Dairy Milk.
I'm going to put this in Bloody Lovely. It's the vanilla of vanilla chocolate bars, but it's decent.
Yeah, I'm putting it in decent. I put the cream egg in lovely. I've got to put it in lovely. Yeah. McVitie's Digestives, plain.
Yeah, I'll put that in solid meh. They're decent. Well, actually, no, I'll put it in pretty decent. They're fine. They're a good palate cleanse. I don't really drink tea, but if you drink tea, they're the perfect dunker.
Yeah. They go with things. So yeah, decent for me.
What the fuck is this meant to
kebab.
Be? It's a doner kebab.
It's a doner kebab, ain't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
It's got so much veg on it.
Yeah.
And hummus.
I think this is a create your own doner kebab.
It's not for me, and I don't respect it. I don't like kebabs.
As it stands, I'd put it in not for me, respect it. But yeah, I'll stick it there. There's because on its own, the doner meat is actually pretty good, but all that vegetable, it just looks like too much work.
Well, I also can't eat it anymore. I've never actually had a doner kebab, but doner kebabs are beef, aren't they?
Lamb.
Oh, fair enough then.
In America, it's beef cut with lamb because they can't get beef enough. But here it's lamb.
Okay, sure. But yeah, I'm not a fan of kebab houses.
Sure. Yeah, the big old shaved, rotating pillar of meat.
Okay.
F&C's.
I mean, it's no contest. If you don't put Food of the Gods, you're not fucking British.
Now, you know me and my problem with fish. I used to love this. I used to have it every week. Now, it has to go and respect it.
No. It's still Food of the Gods, even if you don't like it.
Food of different god.
I didn't know you had a fish thing.
Yeah, so ever since I went deaf for like 3 months and gained superhuman smelling, it stunk the house out whenever my folks would bring fish and chips home, and it put me right off fish for possibly the rest of my life.
I'm surprised you can smell the fish and chip, the fish from the fish and chips more than the salt and vinegar.
I mean, they used to put it in the oven to keep it warm until everyone was ready to eat it.
Oh, that's a weird system, but kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and I could smell it through what was meant to be 2 closed doors, 3 if you count the oven door.
I don't.
No. So yeah, it was rather stinky, and yeah, it put me right off. And it's a real shame because this was like, we were very lucky in that our local chippy was a very good fish and chip shop. Still is as well, because like I keep picking up chips for my folks, like on a semi-regular basis from there, and on the same trip out, I will go and pick up something else, be it a pizza or whatever else.
Do you want to tell the story of when we tried to have fish and chips there?
Oh yes, we went on a tour of the village trying to track down fish and chips because the regular had roadworks and was shut. We went to the next one and we went in and they were just having a chat and then just went, sorry, we're closed, and they just not locked the door.
Yeah, that was weird. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was really weird.
To be fair, there was roadworks, but the roadworks was specifically fucking up the electrics for that entire street.
Yes, yeah. The electricity was off, so they couldn't run the fryer or anything. So yeah, we ended up having to go to Plan B, which I think ended up being Chinese, wasn't it?
It would have had to have been because I don't like Indian.
Yeah, wasn't it curry? Yeah. Next one, fish fingers.
Well, I know your answer. I'm going to put this in pretty decent because I would rather have proper fish, but this is a pretty decent substitute, and it's cheaper usually.
Yeah. When it's lunchtime and you've got a George Foreman grill and you want a fish finger butty, yeah. I'll also put it in pretty decent with the caveat of I can't have it right now. But yes, we still have fish fingers. We still get the fish fingers that I used to insist on buying because they were good for the purpose of putting them on the George Foreman and having fish finger butties.
Those of you who are listening from America, by the way, I believe fish fingers to you guys are fish sticks.
Yeah, fish sticks. Although, yeah, the ones that I buy would be more like fish bars because, the little fish fingers, they're all right. The deluxe ones, way better. Freddo, bloody lovely.
Yeah, I'll put it in pretty decent. There's nothing wrong with a Freddo, although it's been the source of controversy since we were children because no one can let go of the fact that they're not 10p anymore.
Yeah.
Plagued by controversy is the humble Freddo bar.
Yeah, the Freddo inflation chart. Yeah, it's basically just a micro dairy milk in like a palatable size of portion. Like, yes, for a lot of people, the entire dairy milk bar is a portion, but that's what makes you round. Fridge Raiders.
I don't think they deserve to be food of the gods, but this is a fucking very good snack, and it's marginally better for you than crisps, so I'm putting it in bloody lovely.
Okay, I agree with everything that you've said. However, I would never choose to buy them because they're more expensive than pretty much anything else.
Okay, I respect what you're saying. However, I get these a lot quite often because they get reduced. So, because they get reduced at the end of my shift, I basically pick them up for 30p, so they're much more... You're right, they're outlandishly expensive, and you should not buy them at full price, but you gotta factor in the fact that if it's chilled, there's a good possibility that I eat it regularly just because it's cheap regularly.
Yeah. At £1.40, nope. At 30p, awesome.
Oh, yeah. I think it's worse than that. If it's not on offer, I think a pack of Fridge Raiders is £1.50.
Yeah, well, okay, I was going by my experience where they were meant to be £1, but the local marked them up to £1.30 to make more profit. But yeah, that was a fair few years ago, and time has happened since then. Kellogg's Real Fruit Winders.
I never had these as a kid because too expensive, basically. They looked delicious as a child, but as an adult, they look disgusting. I'm going to put that in not for me, fuck that.
Yeah, I don't know where to put these because they came out too late for me to be a kid with them. They taste alright, but it's the same Fridge Raider problem, so I might have to put them in solid meh. No, I'll put them in bit shit because Fridge Raiders are at least better at what they do. Yeah, they're expensive. They're very rarely discounted. So yeah, bit shit from me. Hobnob.
I'm not a fan of the humble hobnob, but it has earned my respect.
Sure. I would say, well, it's also partly on the Peter Kay thing of the hobnobs are the Marines of the dunking biscuit, but they really are. If you have something to dunk, the hobnob is the guy of choice. I'm going to pop it in pretty decent.
Sure.
Hula hoops.
These are interesting. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're not particularly out there. I'm going to put it in solid meh.
Put it in pretty decent. I do like reconstituted crisps.
What does that mean, Rick?
So crisps that are made out of mashed potato, essentially. So
the Pringle method.
Pringles, yeah, the Pringle method.
Yeah.
And these are like chief among them. And I like seeing the funny shapes that you get when they're not perfect as well.
I will admit that is amusing. Like, there's nothing wrong with them, and I think specifically the beef flavored one, which, funny enough, a lot of beef flavored crisps are vegetarian, which means I can still eat them.
Yeah, it's just MSG flavor.
Yeah. But the beef ones in particular are very nice. It's just if I was in a supermarket looking at the crisps, my eyes would not be grabbed by the fucking hula hoops.
Yeah. I think the benefit was when I was a kid that they were cheaper as well, so you could just get a bag of hulas, and you could portion yourself as well. Like, I'm doing 10 because that's what goes on all my fingers, and then you put them away for later.
Okay, you were a weird fucking child, and your autism showed a bit there. Like, I know we don't usually make that joke on air, but fuck me, Rick.
Hula hoops go on fingertips.
But not your thumbs.
Yeah, your thumb's a bit big. Also, adult hands are a bit big for these as well. I think I stopped doing it when I was about 11.
Oh, in which case you need to upgrade to the bigger hoops.
Yeah. Oh, man. Iron Brew.
This is not food of the gods, but it is the nectar of the gods. Shout out to Scotland, you made a great fucking national drink.
Yeah. This is one of the few pops that I will buy the original brand of on the reg. So yeah, food of the god.
My store no longer does its own knockoff, but my favourite was the fact that when it did do its knockoff, it was just called Iron Brew, but spelled properly.
Yeah, made with girders. Shout out to this also, the zero sugar version.
Tastes exactly the same as the full sugar version.
Yeah, exactly. So, as much as it's maligned for reducing the sugar in the full sugar version, the only thing that changes is the consistency. The flavour is the same.
I couldn't even tell you about the it's been so long since I've had regular Iron Brew. I actually don't know what the difference is, because I've just always had the... And I like how they continue the X theme with, like, zero, but with an X.
Yeah.
Except in this time...
Zero, yeah.
Except this time it's extra with 2 X's.
Oh, yeah, extra. Yeah, extra, yeah. Food of the gods from us. Jaffa cakes.
I'm going to break my my earlier statement of I don't like orange with chocolate, because this is the exception for the rule, because these are fucking lovely.
Well, you get to keep your streak, because these are, I believe, apricot.
It's meant to be Jaffa.
Yeah, so the orangey bit is not actually orange. Apricot.
But they taste like orange. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's apricot with orange oil. So, it's got like some artificial orange flavour in there, but the underlying flavour of it is the apricot jam, or apricot jelly, sorry. So yeah, I'm putting these in bloody lovely, at least.
Fuck me. The most common form of Jaffa cake is blah blah inches in diameter. I didn't want to know that. A gin-wise sponge base, a layer of orange-flavoured jam, and a coating of chocolate.
Yeah, it's orange flavoured.
Orange-flavoured jam, though. It doesn't say it's fucking orange-flavoured apricot. We're going to have to fucking dig into this. Hang on one second. Are Jaffa cakes made of orange? The answer is both yes and no. Thanks, Google! Okay, according to the manufacturer, Jaffa oranges were once used to make the jam, implying that they no longer are. This is fucking false advertising. I'm genuinely, this is like when you told me about the squirrels. I'm genuinely heartbroken. Like, fuck me, what else is a lie?
I'm genuinely miffed about that, yeah.
I'm not miffed, I'm fucking furious, sir.
Flawed.
Jesus Christ, I'm bothered.
Yep. And that's also why fake Jaffa cakes taste weird, because they don't know that it's not just orange.
Alright, it's going down to solid meh because of its lies.
Well, I'm keeping it in bloody lovely. It's kept out of Food of the Gods by the fact that, you buy a packet of it and then the packet's gone.
Even when it's the 20-pack?
Yeah. Especially when it's the 20-pack.
Oh, that's worrying, Rick.
The Jaffa yard. Hartley's strawberry jam.
I'm putting this in forget it because it's so fucking expensive for jam.
I think Hartley's is pretty cheap compared to Bon Maman, which we also buy.
Alright, it's not cheap compared to Store's own brands, so therefore, you know.
Okay.
And it's just fucking jam, man. And it's okay. Yeah. Listen, if we go purely by flavour, it would be solid meh. But I demoted Jaffa cakes for a dumber reason, so...
Sure. Putting Hartley's jam on the same tier as Bounty for me, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, solid meh. Jammy Dodgers.
I had some blackcurrant Jammy Dodgers the other day, and they were fucking great.
Sweet.
But yeah, bog standard Jammy Dodgers, bloody lovely, aren't they?
They're nice enough. I'm putting them in pretty decent. I always feel like I'm expecting more out of a Jammy Dodger than I get.
That's a fucking sentence, Rick.
Yeah, they're a bit overall harder, and the biscuit is just that little bit less than I was hoping for.
Yeah, I get you. So, you know what? I'm actually going to demote this to pretty decent because I actually prefer Jacob's strawberry and creams.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. I'm basically expecting another brand's better take on a Jammy Dodger whenever I get a Jammy Dodger, and then I'm always disappointed.
And you know what? Those strawberry and creams are cheaper than Jammy Dodgers.
Yes. Jelly babies.
Forget it. Oh, I don't like jelly babies anyway, which, you know, I think people might be able to tell I don't like regular jelly babies by my visceral reaction to the chocolate ones you brought from Australia.
Yeah. I mean, the chocolate ones were fucking weird. They were like, they weren't even chocolate flavored. They were just wax.
That's whack, yo.
It was so weird. Yeah, I'm putting them in bloody lovely. They're up there with other choices of snack when I'm looking for something that's not chocolate.
Fair.
Kinder Surprise.
Food of the gods, I think, because the chocolate is
Kinder
great.
Chocolate. Yeah, I don't think there's any other Kinder Chocolate on here, so it's going to have to be the stand-in for Kinder Buenos and things like that. And you get a toy, which makes them illegal in America because babies might swallow the toy.
I used to love the toys you got when we were kids because they used to just be a pretty solid, pretty decent little figure. Now they always give you something shit.
Oh.
But I don't know if it's actually shit or it's because I'm a 30-year-old man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, there was like a 2-tier thing. Either you got them from the box that were from a series, and you got something from that series. So like a little turtle with a snorkel or whatever, or a turtle with a hammock, or a turtle with a spade, or you got the super random ones, which some of them were good, some of them were awful. I remember fondly having to put together your own little plastic car from a Kinder Surprise.
Yeah.
And it was always a car,
and it never fucking worked.
Oh no! Like one of the wheels might have spun.
Yeah. I remember, like, it was back when My Little Pony Friendship is Magic was a proper thing. They had special Kinder eggs that would have a pony on the packet, because it's like, buy this one and you get a My Little Pony thing. And I'm like, I was tempted once to just be like, oh, should I? Because I really fancy a Kinder egg.
Yeah.
And then I was also like, I'm going to get judged when I buy this. So I went, no, and I bought one of the normal ones.
So that's it for Kinder eggs. Let's go to KP nuts.
I don't really like nuts. So it's one of those where I'm going to put bit shit in it, because you can buy nuts for cheaper, but I don't really eat nuts as nuts, you know? I don't mind if they're in things, but...
Yeah, I feel you. Like, I don't buy nuts on their own. Like, when I do, there's always something done with them. So, like, being...
roasted and shit.
Yeah, like honey roasted or dry roasted are the two ones that I go for. And these just look like salted nuts. I don't mind them, but yeah, a bit shit in it, because I don't think KP adds enough to peanuts to make them anything more than just peanuts.
I feel you on that one. And again, like, if you go into any supermarket, you can just buy non-branded nuts for cheaper. Or better yet, go slightly to the left and buy the trail mix version of nuts.
Yeah, with everything else in it.
Yeah. Ooh, I got a pecan.
Yeah. Like, all the better nuts, because peanuts are the cheapest. Milky Way Magic Stars.
Food of the gods. I don't know what they do to the stars specifically, but they've just got such a unique taste for chocolate.
Yeah, I remember this. Like, so it's basically it's Mars chocolate. In fact, what do Mars do with this?
Well, it probably
in the galaxy, don't they?
It's probably not Mars chocolate. It's probably Milky Way chocolate.
Yeah, but like the chocolate that Milky Way is Mars's.
It's Nestle,
chocolate
isn't
that
it?
They put in Milky Way. Is it?
Pretty sure. We could be here all day debating it. Either way, like, if you've never had Milky, they're hard to describe, but Milky Way Magic Stars are a very distinct taste, and I will always, if I've got a choice of a pouch of chocolate, I'm going to gravitate towards Milky Stars.
Yeah, for me it's between that and Revels, because I like the randomness of Revels.
The problem with Revels is they got that one that's coffee, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, but it's okay if you get it in a mouthful of everything.
That's not how I eat Revels.
Mawam.
Not for me, but I respect it. I used to love these as a kid. As an adult, they taste not so good.
Yeah, they're a bit chalky. I'm putting them right now in a bit shit.
Sure.
Weirdly, I've not put anything in Forget It yet, but that might be about to change with Marmite.
Forget it.
Yep.
Okay.
Love it or hate it.
Yeah.
We both hate it.
Yeah. That's the. Well, here's the thing. I've never properly tried Marmite, but I've smelt Marmite and I've gone, that don't smell right.
Yeah. If your body tells you poison, then maybe poison. I don't mind using it as an ingredient in cooking, but at that point, it's just as a substitute for mushrooms, which I really, really, really hate, just for an umami kick.
Okay.
But yes, not as something on its own. Like I won't have Marmite on toast or Twiglets. Twiglets can fuck off. Spoiler for later.
I also don't like
Matchmakers.
Twiglets. Have Twiglets got Marmite flavour to them?
Yeah, that's what they are.
Okay, in which case I don't like Marmite because I have a visceral reaction to Twiglets.
Okay, so Quality Street Matchmakers.
Alright, you know that earlier thing I said about not liking mint chocolate or orange chocolate?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Rick. Again, poor growing up, when we used to go to the cinema once a year, it was the one chocolate that my mum would buy at the cinema, and that was Matchmakers. But more so the orange ones than the mint ones, which means I'm going to put them in a bit shit in it, because while I don't enjoy them, I have some nostalgia associated with these.
Yeah, I'm also putting them in bit shit, because, you tend to only get them Christmas. What I actually got them for was when my mum used to make cakes, she would use them for frameworks for things that she was making, like a greenhouse. A greenhouse would just be a stack of Matchmakers made into a house shape and then sprayed silver.
Sure.
So we then got to eat the rest. But yeah, it's a we don't buy these, they just get bought kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to go in bit shit me. The Tesco's meal deal.
Listen, food of the gods. Doesn't have to be a Tesco meal deal, but Tesco is like the one, like everyone's got a Tesco near them.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I will put it in not for me just because I've not been in a situation where I need a middle of the day meal that I can't just get from a staff canteen or whatever.
Well, I was going to say, Rick, you haven't worked for a while.
Yeah, but like last time I did, it was, there was a staff canteen. You didn't need a Tesco.
Well, alright, fair enough. You're wrong, but fair enough.
So that's why I'm putting it in not for me respect.
It doesn't mean I have to be happy about it, Rick. The thing I find funny is they've even that's even my meal deal in the picture. That seems to be a sausage, bacon, egg sandwich and a pack of McCoys. Fuck the drink. Who cares about the drink?
Bacon and stuff, and it's flame grilled steak McCoys. Yeah.
I usually go for cheese and onion, but like, come on, it's close enough.
Yeah, they're both good. You want something with flavour. To be honest, even actually no, McCoy's I would say not ready salted, but yeah, any of the high flavour. Millionaires.
I don't know. I'm going to put it in solid meh. I could take or leave these. It really depends on the day.
Yeah. Depends on the day, depends who's made it. If you get it from someone who makes a million of them, they're probably going to be shit. If you got it from someone who's made them themselves and have only made like 6 of them, they're probably going to be really nice. So I'm splitting the difference between meh and lovely.
Well, again, I think you have to take the version you can buy in a supermarket, not the version you make yourself.
Yeah. Or like we got a sandwich deli, but
again, no, I think again you're putting your sights on the premium end of the spectrum. I think you got to take the standard version of the thing.
Yeah. I'm splitting the difference between meh and lovely with decent.
Okay.
Mini cheddars.
I'm gonna put this in pretty decent. I don't think it's bloody lovely, and cheese licks exist, and they're just better cheddars.
Yeah, they are just decent. Sometimes you get a craving for cheese, but if you've got a craving for cheese, then actual cheese is better. Monster Munch.
I'm going to upset my brother, but it's not. Who cares? He doesn't watch these, and put them in bit shit in it. They got rid of the best flavour of Monster Munch when I turned about 10.
Oh, which one was that?
Cheesy.
Oh, man, I forgot there was cheesy Monster Munch.
Yeah, and it bothered me because it bothered a fair few people because like a couple months later they re-brought out a new flavour using the same yellow packet, and it was roast beef. Roast beef Monster Munch, I have no beef with you, pun intended, but it's definitely the best of the flavours you can still have. I can only assume there was like some ingredient and they got outlawed in the cheesy flavour.
Yeah. It might have been during the MSG scare, but yeah. I'm putting them in pretty decent because I still like them. I don't think they're worse than mini cheddars.
Well, again, my personal vendettas are painting some of these choices.
Yep. Angel slices.
Yeah, pretty decent.
In fact, can we see any other Mr. Kiplings? Can we lump in all Mr. Kiplings with these?
Nah.
We'll keep it as angel slices. Yeah, pretty decent is fine. To be honest, I think the only Mr. Kiplings that's like significantly better than these is their little Bakewell slices.
I like their Viennese swirls a lot.
Sure.
So
again, a much better version of a Jammy Dodger.
Yeah, but expensive.
Yeah. Jammy Dodger Plus Pro with a DLC. So yeah, pretty decent for Mr. Kipling. Party rings.
Bit shit, innit? It's something you get given as a child at every children's party. So I think a lot of people look back and go, yeah, party rings are good, but I bet you if they went out and bought a pack of party rings, they'd be like, why did we eat this?
Now, I'll accept that statement.
Oh.
I'll raise you the fact that it's exactly how you remember them. It's just mid-tier biscuit with icing on them, which, if all you need is sugar right now, is one of the best ways to get it. I'm putting it in pretty decent.
I appreciate that you've got a bit of a thing where you might need to think about that a bit more than not at all.
Yeah. Penguins.
Oh, I'm really taught. I'm going to put them in bloody lovely, but it was very close to going into Food of the Gods.
Yeah, the only reason that they're not gone in Food of the Gods is because we've tried the upgrade.
This is true. Fucking the Australian thing. What are they called? Tim bars.
Tim Tams, yeah.
Tim Tam. What the fuck's a Tim bar?
Yeah, like even the basic Tim Tam would probably end up in Food of the Gods compared to a lot of these.
Oh, I don't know. The basic Tim. I almost said Tim bar again. Tim Tam is, I don't think, holds a candle to a penguin, but the white one and the dark one very specifically kick the shit out of penguins.
Yeah. They don't do the dark with raspberry anymore.
That is a real shame.
Because I think that was the nicest one of the premium ones that they did. Like, they still do a couple of other premium ones, but yeah, oh well. So yeah, penguin, yeah, I'm putting it in bloody lovely. Pepperami, it's a bit of an animal.
I'm going to put it in not for me. Fuck that. I don't even respect it. It's a mass-produced piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm putting it in bit shit in it because I've had them. We used to have them all the time. When I used to have packed lunches, it was sometimes we got the multi-packs of micro pepperamis. Weirdly, I remember chewing the plastic for even more flavour for longer than eating the pepperami, so there is that.
You were a special child, weren't you, Rick?
There wasn't a lot to do before the internet.
Yeah, but there was more to do than I'm going to chew the plastic from a pepperami. Like,
yep.
You can't use that as an excuse for every weird thing you did as a kid. We didn't have internet. Yeah, but you had a football.
Oh, no, I wasn't fast enough for a football.
Yeah, but you could still kick it.
Yeah, but then I have to go fetch it.
Oh, fucking boo! Fucking boo! I was meant to say fucking diddums, but then I turned into that Scottish fella.
Fucking boo! Percy Pigs.
Yeah, I don't know about these. I'm going to put bit shit because I think the texture was unique, but the flavour was a bit lacking.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. They also came out after I was a kid, so they and even if they didn't, it was M&S, which means that it was like 1.5 times the price of the same thing from anywhere else. So yeah, that never got bought.
Rick, what was your favourite penny sweet?
Favorite penny sweet? Oh, okay. So we found out later that it wasn't a penny sweet, and a guy had just found something, opened it, and sold individuals as penny sweets. But it was these strawberry foams with really, really tiny like sugar balls on the side.
Okay.
To simulate strawberry seeds.
Weird.
And when we found them as packets, we ended up
buying 100.
Taking it to the next level. Well, also that, but we took it to the next level by sticking them in the freezer, so they were like 150 times chewier.
Weird.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to do before the internet.
No, stop it. Get out. Get out.
But yeah, they were incredibly strawberry flavored. How about you? What was your favorite penny sweet?
There were these little blue dolphins.
Oh, blue dolphins?
Yeah.
So little foam boys or jelly boys?
No, they were jelly. But you could get the really big fuck off ones that were like 10p each that would have foam underneath. So it was half. You know how?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like those quite as much, but the little tiny blue ones, like, they were great because one, they were a penny each because that's what penny sweets fucking were meant to mean, and two, you could put a whole handful in your mouth.
yeah. So a bit like so the one with the foam in the bottom, I'm assuming is going to be a bit like the Haribo hearts.
Yeah, a little bit, but again, they were massive. Like, you know those big old snakes.
Yeah.
Bit like that, but blue dolphin.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that. Pizza Express frozen margarita.
I mean, I'm going to put this in solid meh because I've never actually had this, but it's a pizza, so it can't be terrible. Yeah,
solid meh. Even bad pizza is still pizza. Pizza Express probably prides themselves on being slightly 1% above bad.
But also, we've mentioned Pizza Express, so just a quick note. Fuck you, Andrew, and we'll move on.
Yeah, specifically your Pizza Express. Pom Bears.
Oh, I think they're shit. I really do. A bit shit, innit? Like, they're not awful, you can eat them, but they've got such a weird flavour.
I'm between meh and decent. Meh. Yeah, I'm putting them in meh. Because as much as I am a proponent of reconstituted potato in crisps, these just are very thin, and you're lucky if you get, like, 4 whole bears in a packet, because the rest of them are just going to be dismembered arms and legs.
What a picture you paint.
The humble pork pie.
I'm going to put not for me, but I respect it because I avoided pork pies like the plague when I was younger because as a fat child, just like I'm a fat adult, you cannot be seen with a pork pie you will be ripped the piss out of. And I just never felt the need to try it because I looked at the calories on these things and it's fucking 400 calories for that tiny pie. Fuck off.
Yep. We have the benefit of there being more than one person in the house, so we can get a pork pie, split it up, and you have the same experience with a bit of pork pie as you do with a whole one, which is you get a bit of the crust and then you've had the taste of it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm putting it in bloody lovely.
Sure, man. Like scarred as a child.
With the caveat of I really hate the massive ones because you have to cut those up, and by the time you got to the second person, the meat has gone not great because it's like being in the open air. So yeah, it is best with a little one. Pot noodle.
Now, I think you might remember my story earlier about pot noodle sandwiches, which means this has to go in a bit shit, innit? They're not great pot noodles. They exist because, instant noodles are a thing everywhere, but pot noodle is the British one.
Yum. The one that's portrayed is the one that I would never buy because it's the mushroom one.
Oh my days, Rick, this is the only pot noodle I've ever eaten.
Yeah. Every other flavour I think is better than this because the other ones don't have mushrooms in.
You could just pick out the mushroom.
Not really.
Yes, really.
There's fucking lots of it.
Rick, I don't like sweet corn. I pick out the sweet corn from my pot noodle.
Yeah.
It's a thing you can do.
Get a different one.
Well, there's no other flavour that's just chicken, which avoids being spicy. Doesn't matter. I haven't had a pot noodle in fucking years. This is just how I lived as a college student.
Yeah,
like, I want to point to Red Dwarf, where Lister was trapped on an ice planet with Rimmer, and Rimmer goes, "We're down to 2 last bits of food. We've got the pot noodle and we've got dog food." And Lister goes, "Oh, come on, man. You know I hate pot noodles."
Can I even put it in decent? No, it's going in meh. But yeah, it's the kind of. Actually, I think I have to put it in decent for the amount that I eat it because it's going to be sharing a tier with beans and black pudding. Yeah, I eat pot noodle more than I eat black pudding.
Fair do.
Or roller cola pot noodles.
As much as I've shit on pot noodle, I'm now kind of craving one.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that I'm craving one, but we've got things downstairs that are better than pot noodle, instant noodles, and a pan. So if you're at home, you can beat a pot noodle. If you're not at home, it's one of the better things you can do from a service station.
Speaking of service stations,
sausage roll.
I think this is specifically meant to be a Greggs sausage roll.
Yeah, so with it being Greggs, chances are it's either warm or cheap.
Or both.
I'm putting it in bloody lovely.
Ah, food of the gods. I love Greggs sausage rolls. There are no Greggs near me, and thank fuck for that.
Yeah, you've come. Yeah, food of the god. Yeah, you want your crumbly pastry that gets fucking everywhere. You want your generously spiced sausage that lets you know that it wasn't wasn't a pig for very long. And yeah, it's just a perfect storm of unhealthy choices.
Hot or cold, it's still good.
Yep. The scone, or rather the clotted cream and jam scone.
Now, is it scone or scone?
Depends on where you are, where you're from, and whether you think that it should rhyme with bone or gone.
Yeah, I don't really care about that sort of thing. It's something I've seen people have hang-ups over, and I still to this day don't know why, nor do I care. Anyway, yeah. Either way, it's not for me, but I do respect it. It's a traditional British dish, and they always look appetizing. It's just not something I enjoy.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in solid meh, because yeah, I do eat them, but I never buy them. And
Okay.
Like, when it comes to the things that are there, it's probably the best way of having clotted cream. Is it the best way of having jam? No, there's crumpet for that.
Even with jam, I'd rather have it on toast.
Yeah. Scotch egg.
Is it a Scotch egg? I thought it was a gala pie.
Gala pie?
It probably is a Scotch egg, actually. It does look like it's got breadcrumbs around the outside. It's not for me, but I respect it.
Yeah, I'm putting him in meh. If you get a really good one, they bump up a few tiers, but as they're shown, I'm putting it in bit shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because, yeah, that's probably one you got from the supermarket. Supermarket Scotch eggs are a bit shit. It bumps up a fair few tiers if you get it from someone who's made it fresh.
Well, again, we got to disqualify that.
Yeah, but I've got to point it out because there are very good Scotch eggs, but this ain't one of them.
That's fair. What the fuck is this we're looking at, Rick?
I think it's cottage pie, ain't it, or shepherd's pie?
Well, cottage is beef and shepherd's is lamb. That's how you tell. Which doesn't help when it's a fucking picture. I can't have cottage pie anymore, but back when I had it, it was bloody lovely.
Yeah, they're both brown and they both have tatty on it, and this one appears to have used the trick of mixing in some egg into your mash to make it brown and crisp on top.
You see, I've never actually... I didn't know that was how you did that. I always just had slightly soft mash.
Yep. I mean, the mash is still going to be soft. It's not going to crisp up the way that the egg version does.
Oh yeah. But when you cook it the way I cook it, like the edges would crisp up nice and brown. But when you got the deeper in the center you got, it just looked like mash that had been slightly cooked.
I mean, yeah. Once you get below the surface, it does anyway.
Okay, you understand what I'm saying, though, Rick?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. Cool.
I'm putting it in pretty decent. Like there are better dinners, but as dinners go, it's a pretty alright one. Even as a ready meal, which it's a very lazy ready meal to not make, but people do. It's even good as a ready meal. So yeah, skips.
Yeah, meh. It's fine. Nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, meh is exactly correct. I think they only really do prawn cocktail flavour, which is just ketchup flavour.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever experimented, which is fine. They've got they've got a unique fizz, so I'm going to put them in pretty decent, because I'd rather have a packet of Skips than a packet of prawn cocktail Walkers.
Yeah, I agree with that, because Skips do the thing that they do, which is they do the thing of being a prawn cracker, but with prawn cocktail rather than prawn flavour.
For those of you watching from America, when we say Walkers, we mean Lays.
Yes. Or whatever other names it's got around the world, which it's in about 7 or 8 picks anyway, so we'll get that. McCain Smiles, potato smileys.
I mean, I'll put it in pretty decent. It's just chips, but in a funny shape.
Yeah, funny chips. yeah, they're like little micro potato waffles. Yeah, pretty decent. Sounds about right. The humble roast.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend that's not beef and replace it with chicken, and then it's food of the gods.
Yeah, it's just a roast. Yeah, it's got to go food of the god. Because it's basically the reason people take the piss out of British cooking is because we had good and fresh ingredients, so we didn't have to get fancy with it. And most of our stuff is bland because it didn't have to be interesting.
Yeah, the classic joke about British cuisine is, okay, what brown shit do I want with my potato? Because literally every cooked dish we've got, apart from fish and chips, is brown shit, and here's potato. Job done.
Yeah. Cup of tea.
Like, I don't particularly like drinking tea. Yes, I know I'm an embarrassment to Britain, but so it's not for me. But you gotta respect it.
Exactly. I don't drink hot drinks at all. So yes, it's gonna go down there for me.
And also, like, fuck you, like America, boiling your water in a microwave, you fucking wrong-uns.
Yep. It's just so weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I know why it is.
Yeah, because they don't have fucking electric kettles, I guess.
Well, not only that, if they do buy an electric kettle, it takes ages to boil because they're on 110 volts and we're on 240.
That's dumb.
Yeah, so they need like a step-up converter to be able to boil the water quick in the kettle.
Oh, goodness. All right, you get a bit of a pass seeing as you're technologically limited, which is weird to say about fucking America.
Yep. After tea comes tea cakes.
Yeah, not for me. Fuck that. Oh, no, wait, sorry. No, sorry, forget it, because I have had these. I don't really like them.
Sure. I mean, it's marshmallow with chocolate on. I'm going to go with solid meh. Like, it's probably the worst that... Actually, no, there are things with chocolate that are lower ranked than this. But, yeah, they're alright. But you could do better with all of the ingredients here than make those.
Case in point, we've got wagon wheels coming soon.
Yeah. Toad in the hole.
Fucking... Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Bloody lovely.
Yeah, that's about right, I think. It's an enormous Yorkshire pudding with sausage. And the sausage is, like, well done, which is the best way to have sausage.
Yeah. I like having my sausages on the cusp of being burnt.
Yeah. The skin needs to have served its purpose rather than being a hindrance.
That being said, if I'm having like sausages in a bap, then I like them to be not undercooked, but, you know, on the lighter scale.
Or medium rare sausages.
Yeah, because it's like because there's nothing worse than having a really thick crunch when you're having a sausage bap. You just want to eat it, you know what I mean? But yeah, toad in the hole, even if you get a ready-made one from a supermarket, they do a pretty decent job of it. It's nowhere near as good as a fresh one, but whatever.
I've never had a ready-made toad in the hole.
They're decent, like I said. The problem with ready-made ones is they use really cheap sausages, and you can tell.
Yeah. Turkish Delight. This one's a bit of a Marmite of chocolate. I'm going to put it in solid meh.
Yeah, not for me. Fuck that for me. I've never tried it. It doesn't look appetizing. It's not classically British enough for me to, you know, bump it up to respect level.
Yeah, perfume jelly. Yeah, that's why it's in solid meh from me. Like, it's one of the worst things to do with chocolate. If they brought out like a cherry one, like, it'd go way up for me, but oh well. Twiglets.
Fuck that. Or rather, forget it.
Yes, yeah, forget it.
Sorry, I keep forgetting fuck that for me is something I've not tried and I don't want to. Whereas forget it is, I've tried it and it's awful, burn it with fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I put it in forget it tier. These are basically everything that people don't like about Marmite when you don't like Marmite, but in disappointing crisp-like form.
Yeah, because
it looks like it could be good, but it ain't.
Because they put it with the crisps to trick you.
This isn't the Fab Lolly, this is a Twizzler, is it?
Twister.
Tornado?
Twister. Yeah. They had an ad campaign back when I was a kid with like red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, and it just kept getting faster and faster. It's like, oh look, it's a tongue twister, and it's like, it's a bit of a shit one, isn't it, lads? Anyway, pretty decent.
Yeah, I think that's about right for it. I think that might be the only ice cream on here, isn't it?
That's a real shame, because you mentioned Fab, and I'm like, if Fab was here, that would be the king of lollies.
Yeah, Fab is like the British lolly.
Yeah, because you get 3 lollies in one, really.
Yeah. You get the chocolate one on the top, you get the white one, and you get the red one.
Yeah, and the red one's always started to fucking melt by the time you get to it.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty decent on the Twister. An honorary Phantom Food of the Gods for the Fab. Wagon wheels.
Alrighty, I took these up earlier, but they are only going into solid meh, because I didn't really like wagon wheels. However, when I used to go to Wales and hang out with my aunt all day, because my mum and dad were like, we're going to do things, you hang out with your aunt, and it's like, okie dokie, she'd give us wagon wheels. So, again, nostalgia doing a lot of heavy lifting here.
I remember the advert that, they ended the advert with, they're kind of big and kind of nice. And yeah, they're only kind of nice. I'm also putting them in meh tier.
Yeah, they're shit. Like the ones with the blue packet, which had a bit of jam in, they were a bit better. But the marshmallow, they did something to the marshmallow that made it almost slimy.
Yeah, and the chocolate on top was so thin you could see in.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember that.
Yeah. So, next we have Walker's Crisps.
Or Lay's if you're American. But yeah, I'm going to put Bloody Lovely because they're expensive, but they're also like the default.
Yeah, I put them in Bloody Lovely because you You might have a different brand of crisps that are slightly better, like we do with Seabrook.
I love Seabrook. We just don't have them down here at all.
Like Seabrook they only do crinkle cut.
Yeah.
But everything they do is nice.
Speaking of crinkle cut, I'm surprised we haven't got McCoy's on this list.
Yeah.
But oh well.
I mean, we technically have them as part of the meal deal.
Yeah, but you put that in fucking shit, so obviously it didn't factor into your decision.
I didn't put it in shit. I put it in not for me respect.
Yeah, which is shit,
It's the same tier as cheese bits and the kebab as written. But yeah, what's its?
Yeah, fuck it. I'll put these in pretty decent, man. They're again, I wouldn't put these over Walkers, but they're nice.
Yeah, I put them in decent. Which puts for me they're on par with mini cheddars and Monster Munch.
Yeah, they're on par with cheddars for me and Skips.
Strawberry bears.
Never had them. I don't think of them as particularly British, so not for me. Fuck that.
I've also never had them. I'm gonna put respect because I can see them being better than winders.
Okay.
But because I've had a winder and not a bear, I'm gonna have to put them in not for me because I haven't had it. Colin the caterpillar cake. Oh, sorry, this one's Cuthbert, isn't it? Cuthbert the caterpillar cake.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be put in pretty decent. Like, it's a fine cake, but there's better cake.
Yeah. If you are 6 and you need a birthday cake, you can do worse than an interesting looking cake like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's decent enough. It's just basically a chocolate Swiss roll, ain't it? But like with a head.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the roll part. It's purely chocolate cake.
Oh, does it not have the roll around? Oh, that's a shame.
I mean, it might have a roll around of more chocolate. I've never actually but it's not white and brown.
Sure. Man, mini rolls should be on here, but they're not. But yeah, next one. Colin the caterpillar as sweets.
I don't remember these.
They're basically jelly snakes.
Alrighty, not for me. Fuck that.
and they're made by M&S, so I'm putting them in the respect it because it's just jelly snakes, foam snakes, whatever. It's just Percy Pig, but a friend.
Okay.
From the Percy Pig Snack-O-Matic universe.
No.
Refreshers drumsticks.
This is the drumstick lollies, isn't it?
Yeah, Refreshers drumstick lollies.
These were such a chore to eat.
Yeah, they were.
They're a bit of shit, innit?
Yeah, they are a bit. Like, if you got a choice of that or pretty much anything else, like, you get those in those grab bags, and I'm positive people don't buy them on their own.
Yeah, those grab bags are usually what you buy for Halloween.
Yeah, like, you give them to kids for Halloween, and that's when kids lose their teeth.
Yeah. But, like, in that same grab bag you're mentioning, you used to have fruit pops, which were far superior.
Yeah. Drumstick squashies.
These, on the other hand, are the drumstick lollies, but without any of the efforts, so therefore they're pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, we'll pop it in decent. I was between that and meh. Actually, I've never had it.
Oh, you got to try these. Yeah. They're lovely.
Yeah, I've never had those. Yeah, squashies.
Man, maybe I should put them in bloody lovely then, because I literally used the vernacular without thinking. Nah, we'll leave them pretty decent. I don't think they're on the same tier as Toad and the Owl.
Cadbury's Flake.
Yeah, again, pretty decent. Like, I always used to like having flakes in ice creams rather than just as a flake, but, like, given the choice, I'd rather have a twirl.
Yeah, but even that, it's just a flake with a
layer.
Clothes.
Yeah. Wearing a dressing gown.
Flake with clothes on, yeah. Flake in a condom, yeah. So yeah, I put mine in Bloody Lovely. It's on the same tier as your cream egg, your Dairy Milk Freddo. It's just the same chocolate, just packaged in a different form. Yeah. Fruit pastels.
Forget it. I don't like fruit pastels. Was this?
The gasp.
Is this sacrilege for you?
Fruit pastels in Bloody Lovely. I'm putting fruit pastels in Bloody Lovely. They're not fruit of the gods, but they are Bloody Lovely. I'm putting them alongside Jelly Babies as top tier of fruity shit to get when you want something that's not chocolate.
My always go-to fruit sweet was Fruit Polos.
Yeah, that and soft polos.
Soft polos? Oh no, those are horrible.
Polo gummies. Yeah,
nope.
Fair enough. I liked polo gummies, but oh well. Millions.
I remember these being really popular when I was a kid, but they were a real fucking pain in the ass to do anything with.
Yeah, they're basically you can get that amount of chewing gum in that form, but these were the edible ones.
Yeah, I've put them in Forget It. They've shown the packaging here as being in a jar, but I remember as a kid, they were in like a big old long plastic sleeve.
Okay, so that was what you used to get from like B&M or Wilco's or whatever. You got the sleeve and you put it in the dispenser and you made your own multi-layer.
No. That wasn't a thing. They came in pre-packed packs like that.
Okay, well I'm putting it in not for me. F that. It's my only addition to this board in that tier so far.
Yeah, for me it was Forget It because I remember them being shit. The advertising campaign for it was great and it brainwashed all the children into thinking these must be great, but I had them and they were awful.
Yeah. Yep. Mushy peas.
Listen, these can't be in the food for the gods because they are a side dish. However, they are bloody lovely.
Now...
Oh, are we going to fight?
Yeah, you and I have kind of opposing views on beans. Like, you can take or leave beans, but, like, I just don't like mushy peas.
They're just peas, but mushy.
I tolerate peas.
That's going to be a lovely soundbite for our audience, because it came across...
Just me going...
You gargled your spit as you did it. It was disgusting, Rick.
I tolerate peas at the best of times. I'm putting them in... The best I can put them in is solid meh, but no, I'm putting them a bit shit because everyone else in my family loves mushy peas. Good for them. More for them.
Oh, Rick, we might have to rethink our friendship. We're going to break up over mushy peas.
Tango.
Meh, it's fine. I don't really like orange drinks because they're usually a bad time and take away from whatever you're eating.
Yeah. I'm putting it in pretty decent. Like, it's one of the only pop... I think it's the only pop on here apart from Iron Brew.
Iron Brew!
And given the choice between British Fanta and Tango, I would choose Tango.
I mean, that's fair.
But given the choice between British Fanta and Fanta from anywhere else in the world, I'll choose Fanta from anywhere else in the world because it's always more sweet and more orangey, whereas ours is more like a carbonated take on fresh orange.
That's fair. I don't really like orange drinks in general. Much like with orange chocolate, I guess I just don't like orange.
Yeah. So yeah, mine's gone in pretty decent. Pasta and sauce.
I don't know why the fuck this is here. Anyway, not for me, fuck that. It's such a weird addition to this list.
It's a weird thing to put on that, like, I don't see why it's British.
I think it's a British...
I suppose it's like a take on pot noodle that's just... So yeah, I'll have to put it in pretty decent. Like, I would probably choose this over a pot noodle.
I mean, okay.
Like if I was, say, working in a shop and they had a kettle and you got a choice of a pasta sauce or a pot noodle, then the pasta sauce has more flavors that are better, I think.
I'd buy a pack of crisps and just eat that.
Yeah, nip round to the Subway. Branston.
Forget it. Not big. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of pickle, but Branston pickle. I don't know what they do to it. They add something to it to give it a different flavour, and it's just no thanks.
Yeah. So the thing that's keeping it out of the forget it tier for me is the fact that I think I tried it once when I was a kid and didn't like it, so it's going into the not for me forget it tier.
Sure.
Which puts it essentially lower than Marmite. Popworks, sweet and salty popcorn.
Oh, I hate popcorn. I've never heard of this brand, so not for me. Fuck that.
Fair enough. I'm putting it in pretty decent because it's on par with a lot of other crisps, I'd say. But sometimes sometimes I am in the mood for something that's sweet and salty at the same time, and that's one of the better ways to get it, other than, dipping bacon in chocolate or something stupid like that. I don't recommend that. I don't do that.
I should fucking hope not. That sounds vile.
No. Oh, one thing you can do though is like if you get like bacon pancakes with maple syrup, that's a decent sweet and salty.
Okay.
But yeah, Space Raiders.
I'm going to base this on the pickled onion ones because that's the ones they're showing. But if it was the beef ones, I'd have a higher opinion because those are great. Pickled onion is a solid meh. You got to be in the mood for them. They have a bit of a kick. They stab your tongue when you taste them.
Yeah, I'm putting them in solid meh. They're on par with Pom Bears for me in terms of being one of the worst crisps, but with the benefit of being cheap. So if you're a kid and you want crisps, it was basically Space Raiders, or you get a Freddo. Yeah. Either way, you're down 10p.
Like, it was Space Raiders or Transformer snacks, which why aren't they on this list?
Oh man, remember those? Yeah.
Yeah. They were really dumb, those, because they implied that you could make little things out of the shapes, which I guess you technically could, but why would you?
Yeah. Weetabix.
It feels like it would be against the law to put these in anything lower than pretty decent. I'm not a massive fan of Weetabix. I'm really not. I was more of a porridge kid, but yeah. It's got to go in pretty decent, really.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty decent. You can put things with them, the most basic of which being sugar, which just makes the thing sweeter. And flavoured Weetabixes tend to be pretty good as well, like ones that have got like banana chunks or chocolate chips in them. They're all pretty good, the mini ones. Yeah, pretty decent. Fine. And the last one on the list is the Yorkie.
This is the source of one of my favourite sketches from Little Britain, where you got that fancy guy ordering a bunch of fancy food, and the waiter goes, "Oh, very good, sir," is about to walk away, and he just goes, "Oh, and a Yorkie." But yeah, this goes in bloody lovely. It's the king of chocolate. Obviously they don't do it anymore, but I remember the ad campaign when I was a kid was not for girls.
Yeah, and they had girls dressed as boys, and they went, explain the offside rule, and she does it perfectly. And then he goes, oh, nice hair, by the way. And she goes, thank you. And he goes, gotcha.
I don't remember that particular advert. I just remember the tagline was not for girls. They had the same thing for McCoy's where it was man crisps. And obviously you can't...
Yeah.
Obviously it was just an ad campaign, and we know a bit more about it now. They were really dumb adverts. I remember the McCoy advert I remember is it was a bunch of lads at a pub around one of the quiz games, and the question was, what's it called when a ballet dancer does XYZ? And everyone's like, one of them goes, Pile? And they all look at him, and he's eating McCoys, and they just take the McCoys off him, which is a funny fucking advert, but it's super sexist.
Yeah, it wouldn't fly today.
No, God, no. But, you know, like, some adverts were funny, and I understand why you can't do them anymore, and that's totally fine. And also, they weren't serious. They're not going to go, you can't... That people weren't seriously thinking, apart from children, because they're dumb, oh, you're a girl, you're not allowed to eat a Yorkie.
Yeah. Well, the basic Yorkie, I would say, I'm putting mine in pretty decent.
That's fair.
Because when they used to do the honeycomb Yorkies, those were bloody lovely. But the basic one is basically, I would say, similar to Aero. It's just Nestle chocolate, which I'm not the biggest fan of. So yeah, it's going in decent best for me.
Well, that's fair. Wow, Rick, I don't know about you, but my list has been fairly rounded this time.
Yeah, mine's, you'll get the photo in a little bit, but yeah, I've got a full row of everything, apart from the bottom three.
Yeah, my rows are pretty stacked. Pretty Decent has got the most. I've actually got 2 lines of that one.
Sure. My Pretty Decent has got 2.5.
Man, you are an indecisive fuck, aren't you?
Yeah, but like all of them that are in there for like I believe the correct reason. So.
Oh man, that's fine. We can't all be decisive.
If we were, then there'd be a lot more wars.
Oh goodness. It's a fucking snack tier list. We're not taking it that seriously. Although I did punish Jaffa Cakes very harshly. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So, getting into our finale, is there anything on this list that you would have liked to have seen? Sorry, not on this list that you would like to have seen.
Here's the thing, is there are loads of crisps that you could add to this. There are loads of chocolate bars. I think the problem is this is just a generic snack one.
Yeah. I think you mentioned McCoy's in particular.
Yeah, that's a travesty, like Transformer snacks. There used to be a series of crisps when I was younger, don't know if they still do them, where they were 20p a bag, and it was like oinks and quarterbacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feels that.
Those of you who don't know what oinks are, you're missing out. They were onion rings, but bacon flavoured.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking tits. What about you, Rick?
The one thing that I think I pointed it out during the thing, the one thing that I think was glaringly missing was mini rolls. It's another one of the standard grandma cakes when grandma had a pension that week.
If you say so. I get where you're coming from. They are iconic, but I've always thought they're shit.
Sure. Like, they wouldn't be the highlight of the day, but like it's like something that you get used to. That's something that you go there, you see it, and you go, oh yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, fair enough, man. We had different upbringings. It's fine.
And what is your super bin?
I mean, brutally honest, I think it's probably going to be... I don't know, should I pick something from Forget It, or should I put something from Fuck That? Because Fuck That's something I've never tried, so technically it feels a bit awful. Whereas Forget It is something I've tried and I know I hate.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm putting Marmite in there from the Forget It tier because it does double whammy with Twiglets.
Alrighty then, we'll stick with Forget It, and I will throw away... See, I feel like I was a bit harsh with After Eights after seeing all the other things in Forget It, same with Hartley's. So I'm going to go ahead and put fucking Roundtree's Fruit Pastels. Fuck it, don't want it, get rid of it.
Sure. Fuck it, don't want it, get rid of it.
Do we need them?
Do we need them? Alright, then we won't do it then.
No, do it now! Oh, goodness.
But yeah, that's about it from us today. If you like the content that we provide, you've got the comment section down below on YouTube, or instead, you can send us an email, which would go to nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Yeah. So, we'll see you again next time with, well, we don't know what.
Yep, see you later, guys. Please do get in contact if you like the tier lists, because it means we'll do more.
Bye-bye.